Hi, Maya. I saw that we are live streaming. Okay, I think we can get started. Good morning, everyone. Happy Aloha Friday. It's July 31st, last day of the month. I welcome to the City and County of Honolulu Climate Change Commission. Maya and Havan, do you think we could do roll call?
Sure. Chair, your roll call is as follows. Chair Islam,
Present.
Vice Chair Otsuka,
Present.
Commissioner Romine,
Present.
Commissioner Olson.
Present.
You have quorum.
Great. Thank you, Havan. Okay, we're going to move on to our meeting minutes from June 26, 2026. It was included in the board packet. Are there any items for discussion or comment? Okay, seeing none, I think we can move to approval. There is a motion.
So moved, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Romine. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Thank you, Commissioner Olson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great. Okay, meeting minutes from June 26, 2026 are approved. Thank you, everyone. Moving on to our reports. Good morning, Dr. Director Fox from the Resiliency Office. I never know how to put them all together. I think it's Director Dr. Fox. Awesome, Wahine, doing our resilience work. Welcome to the Commission. Time for your Director's Report.
Mahalo, Chair. I'm sure there's some actual verbiage that we can get
Yeah,
actually, maybe
I
from
know.
Courtney, maybe she knows. It
Yeah.
probably exists out there. But good morning, commissioners, staff, and members of the public. For your time today, I have 8 updates to share for the activities of the month of July. A little bit longer, just because we are going to recess the month of August, if that's okay, with you, Chair. Great. I'll go ahead and jump in. The first one is an update on our summer fun climate resilience curriculum. So this summer, our climate resilience curriculum gave keiki across Oahu experiences that they don't always get in their classrooms. And so we worked in collaboration with the Department of Parks and Rec's Summer Fun program. It's a beloved program across the city. And we were able to come together with the Climate Resiliency Fund to be able to provide short lessons for keiki this summer that were engaging around Aina, food systems, and community. And these topics are also not always required in schools. And so we felt like this was a great entry point for these 4 new lessons within a first time ever curriculum in Summer Fun to be able to put together. It was helpful to bring together the junior leaders and senior leaders. So there was an opportunity for generational learning to teach early ideas to keiki and help them grow up with a stronger foundation for climate resilience and sustainability. And this work is something that we are looking forward to increasing next summer. And thanks to our Climate Resiliency Fund fiscal year 2027 funding, there's been another allotment to actually increase this curriculum, make it even more robust, and then add in more activities. So it can be place-based, much more experiential, and there's an opportunity for many of the summer fun programs to be able to actually take huaka'i or bring expert speakers into these summer fun programs. And many of them have hundreds of keiki that sign up and hundreds of more keiki that are on the wait list. So we feel like this is a really great opportunity for us to keep collaborating, and we're looking forward to what we can grow together for next summer. The second update is the city and our office came together last weekend honoring Hokule'a's 50th anniversary for the maiden voyage. We joined nearly 200 supporters, partners, and the crew members to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Hokule'a's first voyage between Hawaii and Tahiti and back. So Trisha and I, Deputy Dang and I were able to provide remarks on behalf of the city, Mayor Blangiardi and CCSR, being able to honor and recognize that Hokulea has sailed more than 300,000 nautical miles and has inspired everyone through throughout Moananui but the entire world on the concepts of Malama Honua. For us, it's a real message of not just sustainability, but also cultural resilience and how we care for island earth together. It's something that's very special for Deputy Dang and I. Deputy Dang was with the Polynesian Voyaging Society for 10 years prior to coming into this position at the city. And so we are also able to come together and hear an update on the upcoming sail plan for the next worldwide voyage segment and how that's actually being impacted by the upcoming El Nino cycles. And so this is work that Tricia and I feel very strongly that we're going to continue to bring into the city with Mayor Blangiardi's support and into CCSR, because the city and Hokulea have a really beautiful bond. For folks that don't know, Hokulea's launch site was at Kualoa Regional Park in Windward, Oahu, and at the border of the Ahupua of Kualoa and Hakipu'u. It's a very, very sacred site for us, for our voyaging and navigational traditions in Hawaii. And so for us as the stewards of those city park lands, CCSR wants to make sure that we continue to be helpful in that 50-year legacy and journey between Hokulea and our public lands. The third update is that our draft for the Oahu Food Systems Plan public outreach summary has been posted. We just want to thank the commission and all of the public for the letter that you provided and also the comments. So as a synopsis, from May 1st to June 30th, we invited the public to review and provide comments on the draft of the Oahu Food Systems Plan through our Conveo online software platform. We were able to promote the plan through social media, presentations, tabling events, panel discussions, flyers, newsletter announcements, press releases, briefings. We hosted 2 public webinars, and we updated all 36 neighborhood boards for the course of 1 month as well. So in total, our outreach efforts, we estimate, reached no less than 37,000 people during this time. And we just want to thank everyone who shared their mana'o and contributed to the strengthening of the plan. The outreach summary is on our website, and we'll continue to keep moving forward as we seek council's adoption of the plan in the late fall going into the winter. The fourth update for you commissioners is we took part in a grants learning lab. And so our staff across the mayor's offices have been really trying to take a hard look for the past 2 years on how we can make sure that the city is primed to be recipients of eligible federal funds to continue to leverage our work beyond the general funds that we receive through the annual budget allocation process. And so we've been working with Essential Leap, and this month we completed a series of grant learning lab activities, and the focus was making sure that all of the mayor's offices are primed for prospecting and grant writing. Not just the grants management that we do on the day-to-day, but to make sure that we're really skilled and we have the capacity to be ready for these when these notice of funds start to come out, and that we mobilize quickly, because everybody knows sometimes the turnaround times are very, very quick. And so we need to have these skills and systems and capacities in place. And the training helped all of us to uncover some of the needs that we need, better analysis, and preparing for proposals. And our Essential Leap partners have helped all of the mayor's offices create a grants opportunity tracker. And we've been working together to see how some of these grants can actually be much more collaborative in nature across agencies and across departments to increase intergovernmental collaboration. The fifth update is we're happy to share that Honolulu has been accepted into the ICLEI Capital Cities cohort, which will be led by our energy program. This new collaboration will help us strengthen our energy management, improve operational efficiency, and support long-term sustainability across city departments. So cities across the US were selected who are already doing some of this work at the municipal level, and being a part of the working group, having peer learning sessions and having the tools and capacity that we need to will help us to identify some practical next steps to continue building on our energy efficiency work, budgeting and staffing, improving our government operations around clean energy transitions, and definitely of high priority for our team, increasing electric vehicle and infrastructure for charging stations that are specific to city level government roles and the actions that we can take across the clean energy transformation. So we'll be sharing more about that as the cohort and this community of practice continues to get underway this fall. We're also happy to share that there is a green fee workshop on August 11th that we are collaborating with from 3 to 5:30 p.m. With Hawaii Green Growth in the Care for Ainanao Coalition. The workshop will be at the Ho'okupu Center. It's free and open to the public, and the sessions will include topics and speakers around procurement rules, requests for proposals, also known as RFP, tracking and responses, and then available technical assistance to help people understand and access information around the state's green fee. And community members can register at bit.ly/Oahu Green Fee, and we can put that into the chat for you folks as well. We hope people will attend, and our staff will be there as well. The 7th update for you is that we completed our Municipal Investment Fund Phase 1. So as an update for folks who weren't with us in previous commission meetings, Honolulu was successfully selected last summer as one of 49 communities in the Municipal Investment Fund cohort. And this summer, we completed our public-private partnership, also known as P3 Clean Energy Delivery Model. It's a fully integrated pathway that we built out showing how clean energy products and projects can move from community engagement to financing, installation with measurable outcomes that support Oahu. The model is really exciting, and it's a new approach to make sure that we're building out strategies that are practical, scalable, and actually ready for deployment and investment right away through what we refer to as the Municipal Investment Fund, or MIF. The framework that we put together included key partners, of course, us as the Resilience Office representing the City and County of Honolulu, but our strategic partners at Hawaii Green Infrastructure Authority, and then also bringing in community-based and nonprofit organizations, higher education and workforce partners, the Hawaii State Energy Office, contractors, businesses, developers, engineering firms, ECSOs, Hawaiian Electric, and Hawaii Energy. All of us together help to create this public-private partnership framework that now can blend together a strategy around public, private, and programmatic financing to make sure that clean energy projects here on Oahu are financeable and replicatable. And so we're happy to share that our case study, which was one of 23 selected in this cohort, is now published in collaboration with the Center for Green Capital, and we can put that information for the website. It's at ecleusa.org/eclay-cgc. And then the 8th update is our staffing announcements. We are currently accepting applications for a policy and grant specialist available at resilientoahu.org/opportunities. This role really does help us continue to move climate policy forward. It helps us with finding options around some of these projects that I just mentioned that do need external funding sources and do need us to continue to seek grants that are eligible for the city and to support implementation of major climate initiatives. Our priority application closes tonight, but we will continue to accept applications on a rolling basis. And we hope folks who are interested in joining our team and who are interested in climate sustainability and resiliency policy and grants would be interested to check out what we have posted on our website. So in closing, thanks for allowing me a little bit extra time since we'll be in recess next month. And I want to thank the commissioners and all of our Resilience Office team who continue to do all this work for commitment and service behind the scenes. I hope everybody enjoys your final days of summer. And Chair and Commissioners, I'm happy to take any questions or provide any other details or clarifications at this time.
Director, that was a wonderful update. So many great bits of information in there to unpack. I just want to comment on two things. I love that the Summer Fund program is going well. You have additional funding to expand that. I was a Summer Fund kid, so this is great that you're just kind of connecting all of these back down to the keiki, right? Because that's how we're going to build a more sort of Akamai next generation. So wonderful. I also love the fact that you're collaborating more with Hokulea, Pacific Voyaging Society. I think it's a really great way to kind of serve the synergy of just what does holistic resiliency look for our city. And then lastly, I'm very curious about the MIF kind of your kind of framework and your deployment plan. I think it's excellent that the city was selected as one of 23 case studies. So maybe in a future meeting, we could have a presentation either from your office or the collective group and body of people that helped to create this framework. So a lot of really wonderful information here, but continue the great work. I'd like to defer to our commissioners for additional comments, questions for the director. Feel free to raise your hand or let me know. Commissioner Olson.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was a wonderful update. I just want to make sure we get the links. I know you put one of them, but particularly with the green fee, the workshops I think are going to be so important to reach out to smaller community groups that aren't necessarily well networked. And I hope to make the 11th one just out of curiosity. Thank you very much for spending your office's time in that outreach effort. Because anything new like this, there is always a bit of friction in the beginning, and I've gotten lots of questions while walking in my neighborhood about it. So it's great.
Thank you, Commissioner Olson, and just confirming, I'm dropping some links into the chat now, including that that bit.ly for the Green Fee Workshop registration.
Commissioner Osuka.
Oh, I just want to very quickly acknowledge and say thank you to you and your team for all of your outreach on the food systems plan. I think hitting all the neighborhood boards is a lot of time and effort. So I just want to acknowledge the hard work of you and your team and say thank you for doing so much outreach on the food systems plan. My personal passion is food systems and food access. And so I went to talk to the farmers at the farmers market and I was like, make sure you comment on the plan. And so many of them were like, oh, CCSR already reached out to me. And I was like, incredible. I don't need to do this. I'm so happy. Please make sure you comment. So I just want to acknowledge your team's hard work on that. So thank you.
No questions for me. Just want to say thank you, Dr. Fox, for all those updates. There's a lot in there. I'm always amazed about all the incredible work that your office is doing. So thank you for spending the time to bring us up to speed on all those topics.
Great, thank you, commissioners. Any comments, questions from the public? How about Maya, anything on Facebook Live? Okay. I think we have none. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Dr. Fox, Director Fox, for the amazing update. Okay, we are going to roll right into our new business as we do not have any old business. We're going to get to our first agenda item, which is a presentation and discussion on the city's annual sustainability report. I want to welcome Haley Cook from the Resiliency Office. Will Victor Lemon be with you as well, Haley, or just yourself today?
Just myself for now.
Wonderful.
Victor's
Okay.
off site at the moment, but he might be able to hop on when we get into discussion.
Okay, great. Well, welcome, Haley. So happy to have you here.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me to talk about the city's 2026 annual sustainability report. I'm Haley. I lead CCSR's Policy and Impact Program, and I am the project manager for the annual sustainability report project. And Victor Limon is CCSR's data analyst, and he really leads gathering the data, creating the visuals that you see in the report, and helping us assess what content is in there. And then also shout out to Maya and her communications team. She helps us build the report and release it out to the public. So a lot of hands go into making this report every year. And so it's a great opportunity to be collaborative across the city and with some of our key community stakeholders. So I'm just going to share my screen. Are folks able to see something? Good. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I've given you folks versions of this presentation a few times now. And what's challenging about this presentation is there's so much content in the annual sustainability report that it makes it hard to be able to cover everything. And it's really designed to be viewed online. The data you can get up close and personal and interact with it. So this kind of static format is not always the best venue for being able to really dig into the report. So number one, if you haven't already, I encourage you to go to our website and check it out. But also for today, I want to switch it up a little bit. And instead of just kind of like skimming over the surface of what's in the ASR, because you can see that in a lot of our communications materials, I want to talk about the period of time we're in right now, which is the report has been out for a few months, and in a few months we're going to start gearing up for the next reporting cycle. And so this is our time for investigation and discussion about what do we do with this information? How do we continue to evolve this report so that it gets better and better every year? And so I'm obviously going to give you some background and some highlights, but I want to spend some time sharing with you where we're at and the questions we're asking ourselves. And I'm also going to ask those questions to you and invite you to be kind of a thought partner in this process with us. So this should look a little familiar, but the report itself has about 50 performance indicators or data sets. Wherever possible, those data sets are tracking against specific targets that are in city plans or policy. And for the 2026 annual sustainability report, it's generally reflecting on progress from 2025, largely calendar year, but sometimes it's fiscal year cycles or some of the data sets lag a little bit. And then the report is always publicly accessible on our website this year. And yeah, you can really dig in there, see what you like, full screen, the charts and get a closer look. And it's released annually in April around Earth Day in honor of Earth Month. So just another reminder of the structure of the report. There are 7 thematic sections. We have data and information on city operations, climate mitigation, transportation, adaptation, food systems, waste management, and disaster resilience. And when you're on our website on the report, it'll start you on kind of a landing page, a home page, and then there's buttons that can take you to the individual sections. And then at the top of each section is an objective statement, and that's information that's pulled from city plans and policy. And our job is to find ways to track whether we're moving in that direction. And so each section then has a narrative introduction, because the data can't tell you everything that was great about last year. And so we like to also provide the stories that made the year great. And then underneath that, you can start to scroll through all the data that we have. So each year, the report changes a little bit as we learn new things or we get new tools. And so this year, it is fully integrated into our website. In past years, we've had to use an external reporting platform. And personally, I felt like it wasn't as accessible. So I'm hoping that building it directly into the website makes it a little bit easier for people to navigate and get up close and personal with the information. And our office has made a switch to Microsoft 365. And so we have a bunch of new apps and tools available to us. And one of those is Power BI. And so the actual charts were generated with Power BI this year. And personally, I think they're a little cleaner and nicer to look at. So I'm excited about that. And then on the data side, 2 new things. For the first time this year, we are tracking implementation of actions in Climate Ready Oahu, the city's climate adaptation strategy. We have been similarly reporting on the status of actions in the Oahu Resilience Strategy and the Climate Action Plan. So we're excited to add Climate Ready Oahu, and hopefully next year we're adding the Oahu Food Systems Plan. And then also for the first time this year, we have monthly ridership data for Skyline. So a quick look at some of the highlights that immediately jumped out at us. Last year, the city installed 3 new solar PV systems. So we are increasing our own renewable energy generation. We also opened Skyline Segment 2 from Aloha Stadium to Kalihi Transit Center. And so we actually saw a near doubling of monthly ridership after the opening of the extension. If you're not familiar with Firewise, it's a program that helps neighborhoods take action to decrease their wildfire risk. And so in 2025, 4 additional communities earned Firewise recognition. So we're now up to a total of 7. And then always a bright spot, the number of electric vehicles and EV chargers continues to just exponentially increase. And both of these data sets saw a 17% increase between 2024 and 2025. And then also exciting, last year, we saw the King Street bike lane extension into downtown Honolulu. And that was one of a few bike projects that contributed to 4 new bike miles on the island. And then the city planted about 1,400 new trees in parks and along streets. And that was about 160 more trees than in 2024. And it doesn't even include all of the trees that community individuals and community groups plant in private spaces. So in addition to the highlights, we also have some things that are maybe immediately concerning or trends that we want to keep an eye on. The one that kind of rattled me the most was traffic fatalities. It's just a staggering number last year, 82 deaths. And that was a 70% increase over the last kind of like 5-year average. More pedestrian deaths than any other category. And also we saw an increase for the first time in 4 years in the number of single occupancy vehicle trips. The mode share data does lag, so this is reporting on 2024. 2024 also saw an increase in traffic fatalities over the previous year. So I would have assumed, people don't want to die on the road, so they're getting into their vehicles. When you actually look into the data, it's interesting. The 2024 mode share data shows that the number of people biking and walking and taking public transit went slightly up. And where we might see that contribution to people getting back into their cars were people who carpooled and people who worked from home decreased. So there's some fun stuff we're still digging into there to learn more. The city has a target to transition our passenger fleet to electric or renewable fuel vehicles by 2035. We were only able to add 3 EVs to our fleet last year, and we have about 7 in the fleet, and we have a fleet of about 3,600 vehicles. So that's something we're working on. CCSR coordinates an interdepartmental working group to help departments plan for their fleet transitions. So I'm excited through that work to see the progress, hope to see the progress here in future years. Bikie ridership has been on the decline since about 2021. And maybe you've seen on the streets that we're having an infrastructure challenge. There aren't that many bikes available right now, and we need some new stations. And so, with recent investments from the Climate Resiliency Fund, I'm hopeful that we're going to get more stations and more bikes back onto the road, and hope to see this data start to increase since the kind of pandemic dip. And then the greenhouse gas emissions inventory in the climate mitigation section, this is really our primary metric for how we are measuring progress on our goal to reach net negative carbon emissions by 2045. And because of the way that the data becomes available to us, the latest year that we have data actuals for is 2022. But through the update to the city's climate action plan, the team did some modeling work, and they were able to provide some projected data for 2023, 24, and 25. And it's looking pretty stagnant and kind of leaning towards increasing. So that's troubling when we think about our target. And so it's an opportunity for us to really, as we finalize this new climate action plan, sit down and think about what are the priority things that we can really drive implementation on, so that we can hopefully, when the actual data comes out for the past couple years, it's it starts a more positive trend in the opposite direction. And then similarly for waste data, we haven't seen a sizable decrease in waste generation since like 2019, and it's starting to trend back upwards. So we need to consider what's going on there, and what opportunities could we take to really drive change in that department. Okay, so this is where I want to switch gears a little bit, and share with you kind of some of the stuff that we're thinking about tinkering with, and each of these I'll have questions for you that we are also asking of ourselves. And some of these areas of analysis are: how do we align our adaptation data with our current adaptation objectives? How do we tell a clear transportation story? How do we measure progress beyond numeric targets? And how do we evolve this from just an annual report to really an annual learning cycle? So first, I want to talk about the adaptation section of the report. It's actually our smallest section. We do have explicit quantitative targets, and we have data to report on those targets. But is that the right data that we should be using? Is there more data that could help us really define what success looks like in adaptation? It's not always as clear cut as the mitigation side of reduce your emissions. So what does meaningful adaptation progress look like, and how do we measure that over time? Right now, we have data and information around water use and trees, and that's fantastic, but I don't think it necessarily tells the full picture of what adaptation work is, and how do we measure that work and the progress in that work. And then also, like I said, we are including information about implementation of Climate Ready Oahu, and that really is the city's framework for adaptation, like what adaptation, the visions and the strategies in that plan. How do we carry those forward? And so how can the annual report become a stronger tool for helping us understand implementation of Climate Ready Oahu? So these are some of the questions. If you have thoughts on like data that's available out there in terms of adaptation work, we'd love to hear that. And so we'll feel free if at the end of this you have thoughts on any of these to share, or you can follow up with us afterwards. The next one is the transportation section. It's actually the longest section. And we do have some quantitative targets, and we do have lots and lots of data. But this section just seems a little stuck in terms of, as a sector, emissions reduction has been kind of stagnant in transportation. And then generally in terms of trends that we've seen across the data in this section. We can't assume that just by having lots of data and posting it online in one place that things are going to improve. So we're asking ourselves, of the transportation data that we have, what is most compelling? How should we be presenting the data to tell the most impactful story and ultimately motivate action? Because there is stuff like the traffic fatalities that is very concerning. And so we, again, can't assume that just because we put that chart online that somebody's going to do something about it. So what is the story that we can tell with the data that we have, and how can we really use that to motivate action? Again, if you have thoughts on that, let us know. The third kind of area of investigation for us is a bit broader, but can be applied to the sections on food systems and disaster resilience. These are both sections that don't have any explicit quantitative targets. So we are making our best attempt at showcasing data that we think is important and can speak to the overarching objectives we have for the section. But it's not as clear cut as other sections where we can say, oh yeah, we need to report this data because we need to track progress towards this target. So questions we have are, how can we more explicitly define success in these areas in the absence of those specific goals? And what kind of data is out there, and what is the right kind of data to help us assess broader community outcomes. And then we also have planning documents related to these areas. So the Oahu Food Systems Plan, the Hazard Mitigation Plan. So we want to take a closer look at the objectives and the goals of those planning documents, and then try to match up available data so that we, again, that's the planning framework. And so where can we use data to help us understand how to better implement that work? And then lastly, and most broadly, is this question of how can we make all of this more useful? Useful to city departments, to decision makers, to the public. Maybe you've seen reports from, the where you sit in your regular jobs that you really like. And can we pull cool examples to make our report more compelling and engaging? Do you know of data out there that's not already included in the report that could be helpful? And finally, do you know of any partnerships or other resources that could support this work and maybe increase our capacity to improve how we do sustainability reporting every year? So with that, I'd love to just open it up for discussion, or if you have any questions for us. I know I've just kind of thrown a lot of questions at you, so if you want to sit with them and ponder and get back to us, please feel free to reach out to me and or Victor at any time. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Haley. This was an excellent presentation. I hope you can share it with the commissioners, because there's some really great questions in there. And I would love, I don't know if this is the time, to kind of just give some initial impressions, but I would love for us to kind of further dialogue on this. Because, really, I think it's, the first thing that came to mind, I'll just say, when you asked all these questions was like, have all of these indicators, right? And we want to show like how we're improving. And the most practical thing that comes in is like showing these projects and these applications, right, in case studies. But I wonder if one thing that the ASR could start looking at are the co-benefits. Like, how do these things, when they work holistically together, how are they beginning to improve the lives of our residents, right? Because I think that's when this information starts to sink into our daily lives. And maybe that's an aspect that could be like discovered, or, as an evolution, it could be like testimonies from community, right, residents, leaders, things like that. But I think that's what an interesting way to sort of see all of these kind of be integrated together, right? Because that's what they want to be. They all want to be integrated together. So that was sort of the first thing that really came to mind. What are the co-benefits of all of these things that can be further unpacked? So, but
Totally.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
That's really helpful. And I like the idea of the testimonials too, of really grounding it in people's realities.
yeah,
That's what we ultimately want to do, but
yeah.
it sometimes is hard of like number and lived experience and the story in between to pull them together. Yeah, we want to figure that
Right.
out, and I hope that the website format gives us more flexibility to be creative and build some of that kind of content.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the website format is really great. But it's just still very like the ones that couple I went to, it's still very data heavy, right? And so
Yeah,
it's like looking at different perspectives of people that would be interacting with this interface is like, how do they then translate that information, right?
yeah,
Yeah, some of the things that I've been working on with AI nationally is like, how do we distill information by region? And maybe that could be the thing. How do we distill these impacts to neighborhoods, right? So that people can know in the place that they live or the place in which they work, what are we doing? How can I impact? How can I better
Mhm.
tie my community to be more resilient or adaptive, or try and meet the needs of my particular microclimate here, right? Whether it's the actual environment or the social climate of the space. So that might be interesting now that because I think that the visuals and the interactive are much better than the previous years. So just sort of looking at that. But really great. I would love to get a copy of this. I think the other commissioners would, and I think that would just help us to further share our thoughts. But I'm going to pause here, and I want to open it up to the other commissioners. So feel free to raise your hand and we can have a discussion with Haley. Commissioner Romine.
Thanks, Chair. Thanks, Haley and Victor, for all your work on this and this update, Haley. Really appreciate it. I really like the online format of the report. It is data heavy, but I do really appreciate the way you've gone about that. In fact, I'm looking forward to exploring it some more and considering that for other reports that I'm involved in as a really good example. So thank you for that. I have a question about the greenhouse gas emissions inventory. Some of our commissioners might know the answer. I may not be the only one wondering this, but can you tell us why is the latest verifiable actual data all the way back from 2022? Where can we expect more current data? Are we waiting for a state assessment on that? Thank you.
Yeah, so maybe others know more than me, and I encourage anybody to chime in, but my understanding is that it's a combination of federal and state data sets. And so they're both cyclically timed differently. And so you have to wait for the federal data to come in. The state then does some of their own work. They publish data, and then we can use that to develop our local inventory. So I think it's just like delays in when the federal reporting window happens, and then also the ability to just like use that information iteratively to develop a local inventory. But maybe there's other stuff at play. I'm not sure on. If Victor were here, I think he'd be able to share more, so we can follow up.
Commissioner Olson.
Yeah, thank you, Haley. This is so close to my heart. I love indicators and sustainability indicators. It's really important to do it, but I want to compliment you on using it to kind of flag worrisome trends potentially that we need to pay attention to. And also, I love the idea of turning it into a kind of a learning lab, and would love to hear more about your thoughts on that and how do we make that happen. I mean, speaking, about the traffic fatalities, I think, trying to get people out of their cars, focusing on fatalities, storytelling of the lives lost are incredibly impactful. I mean, the various horror stories that we hear, unfortunately, and over social media, et cetera, and the local news, right? Trying to get more of that out, and less, I guess, violent is the commute time, right? That people spend, like just talking to people about what you could be doing. Like, what are you giving up by sitting in your car instead of taking public transportation? Or, we're such a car culture that it really is a social shift that needs to happen, like a mindset shift. And so featuring folks whose lives have improved, or communities, again, storytelling. Yeah, I mean, the behavior change is a whole area of science that is out there for us to tap into. So I would just say we can explore some of that. On the indicators that you are collecting, I would be happy to walk through some of those. Like whether we're attaching them to kind of island scale questions or local scale questions, I think do deserve different indicators. Water, for instance, island wide is not really all that helpful in thinking about the sustainability of our water resources, for instance. And so, thinking really about the scale of the indicators to the sustainability of the systems you're studying. I mean, or that you're trying to provide insight onto. And my last kind of thought here, INA-based adaptation is near and dear to my heart, and there are some efforts to kind of inventory those. And I would say we certainly need to include those literal grassroots efforts in our adaptation, and better data would be really helpful to so many things happening in the county. So I would say let's put our brains together and try to figure out how to highlight the amazing adaptation work that community groups are doing. But again, thank you so much for this report. I'm really looking forward to clicking through. I love the website. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Yeah, totally. I appreciate that feedback so much, and I would love to talk more, figure out how we can build out the adaptation section.
Thank you. Commissioner Osuka.
Hi, Haley. Thanks as usual for a great presentation and a great report. I just want to share a couple of things I emailed you and Victor this week with the commissioners and the public with regard to the transportation section. And then I had a couple of other thoughts, sort of respond to Kirsten's questions and then some of your questions also, acknowledging that the majority of where you've identified challenges are transportation issues, unfortunately. So I had written to Victor and Haley this week with some questions and comments about the transportation section, the clean transportation section of the annual sustainability report. Some questions about whether we can share historic data on the transportation cost burden, acknowledging that we raised our transit fares on July 1st of this year, but also the opening of the rail, as well as the sharp increase in transit ridership with the rail opening its second phase. I think we'd be interested to see how transit cost burden is changing, especially in the next annual report. So I think that would be really interesting to see if it is changing at all with better transportation choices for residents. And then thinking about if we can pull out the data by household income. So are transportation cost burdens higher for low income households, for example? I'm also very concerned about Beaky. And so I mentioned to, and Beaky ridership, I mentioned to Haley and Victor that I think it's really great that the city has decided that they would take on Beaky and manage it. I just want to acknowledge the climate resilience funds that the commission wrote a letter in support of for improving Beaky operations. And then my board also approved monies to help fund equipment and operations of bike share. So I know that happened after this current annual sustainability report, but maybe putting something in the next annual sustainability report. And then I also asked about whether the city has a goal to build a certain number of miles of bike infrastructure. And the answer was they don't, but I thought maybe including specifically just the amount of bike infrastructure we're building and how that's changing over years might be useful. And then Haley, as you were talking, I was thinking about also that the number of people using electric micromobility has increased substantially in the last couple of years. So I thought maybe including data on, I've seen the city has data on electric bike registration, and that's skyrocketed recently, which is great. And then they also have regular bike registration data, if that's of interest, that sort of plateaued over the last couple of years. And then I think the City Department of Transportation Services should be able to tell you how many electric buses they're purchasing and or how many electric bus charging stations they've installed. For example, in a meeting I had last week, they had mentioned that there are no electric bus purchases sort of coming in the future at the moment. When I had asked, we were talking about planning for electric bus charging. So that might be worth highlighting given the 2035 goal, or I should say an ordinance that the city is committed to meeting. And finally, Haley, thinking about your questions on your slide about like, how do we do better storytelling? I like that you and Victor have included in some of the sections and policies that have passed that are related to these goals. And I wonder if, and maybe this is a little bit controversial, but I'm wondering if including sort of missed policy opportunities might be worth highlighting. I think there are so many cool bills that are introduced at city council that would like move the needle on some of the transportation issues, including some of the ones that we've written testimony for, or bills that have been like watered down, that I think could really move the needle on our transportation emissions and transportation choices and transportation costs. You can phrase it and just say we introduced this bill, but unfortunately didn't pass, or I don't know. I was just thinking about like we introduced a lot of really cool bills that it would be really impactful, but maybe are not becoming ordinance and law. I also think about like I think something I'm thinking a little bit more about in my regular job is how our land use and permitting and zoning impacts our emissions. And so I'm trying to dive into a little bit more like how do we, the city, like we royally, but also specifically for this purpose, the city track and assist with like permitting like more transit oriented development and building more affordable housing in places that either have existing really good transportation choices, or that we're making sure that if we're going to build housing somewhere that we are providing good options for people. And I know that that isn't quite covered in the report. I don't know what section that would be in, but thinking about how do we track that? So for example, this is very hard to track, but my office is tracking number of people who live in a TOD zone and number of people who work in a TOD zone as sort of our performance metrics for that sort of intersection of land use and transportation. So yeah, I'll think about your question a little bit more and like how do we better tell the story of the input. Oh, I'm sorry, one last comment, Haley. I'm happy to set up a talk story with you and Victor. I want to acknowledge my late mentor, CJ Johnson, who would always tell me that our budget is a reflection of our values and our priorities. And so my other comment to you and Victor, I forgot to mention, was like, do we want to track, and this can be for all sectors, but I know that the data exists for transportation. Do we want to track and acknowledge like how our transportation expenditures change over time? So what has been really good, right? Actually, the city's been investing so much in public transit recently with the opening of Skyline. And I want to really acknowledge DTS's efforts to also recalibrate the bus system to better serve like Skyline riders. Also, it's been really incredible. I think transit is the best it's ever been since I've been alive. I'm very excited about it. And so sort of acknowledging those expenditures, and then transportation, as you know, is a funny one. Because I hate when people say it's not my jurisdiction, but there are state-owned roads and there are city-owned roads and there are private roads, right? We don't have control for all of them, but I think maybe at the least acknowledging city expenditures, if you want to acknowledge state, you can, there's data on that too. But thinking about how we tell that story, and when you said, how can we encourage people to take action? I'm assuming you mean all people, including decision makers, but I think the expenditures one might speak to our decision makers about how we're choosing to budget the city budget, for example. So that's my long rant. I'm very sad and sorry that transportation is the majority of our challenges. And I'm committed to working with you folks to figure out how to better storytell and figure out how to better plan, program, budget transportation things. So hopefully that becomes less of an issue moving forward in our sustainability report. So thank you, Haley.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I will say maybe it's a little skewed because there's so much data in the transportation section that there's more things to look at and to call out. So I wouldn't necessarily categorize it as like the worst one. There's just a lot in there to dig into. But yeah, just thank you so much for your email. It was so well received. We really want to try to incorporate a lot of the suggestions that you gave us, and it just made us happy to know that you'd already sat with it a little bit and had thought through some ways to improve it. And I really appreciate all of the context notes as well. I think we spend so much time just like creating and publishing that we sometimes miss out on like it's information about the price in the fare increases on the bus. Like that's a really easy thing to add context to a chart, and just there's so much in there that sometimes we miss those little opportunities. And so I'm thinking about if there's a way to build into the cycle actually sharing like draft information with you guys, because you have all this extra context and fresh eyes that you could help build that story. So I want to think about that. And the budgeting thing is I'll go back to the policy conversation. I'll take that back. I'll see what we could do with that. Because it could just be kind of in the front, an opportunity to show like the policy conversation over the last year. And it is just stuff that was introduced, and we can comment on the current status of those things. That could be really interesting. And then the budgeting question is also super interesting. I want to look more into that. We had actually started conversations, I want to say 2 reporting cycles ago, about how to track adaptation related expenditures. And it became very difficult, and we just couldn't quite figure out the right way to do it and the right way to show it. So it's something that we have tinkered with and have thought about. It's super interesting. And so if there is a way that we can figure that out, I think that would be really cool. So yeah, so much to take on board, and we love every bit of it. So thank you so much. And yeah, happy to connect offline as well to talk more.
Here, can I add just a little bit more before we go? I think, Haley, what I was thinking about in terms of policy in particular, it's often the more controversial policies that are like that are more impactful and effective in terms of greenhouse gas emissions reductions for transportation specifically. So thinking about how are we tracking like our changes in parking, like city parking rates, for example, availability of parking, and then like thinking about how we're changing and tracking parking built, for example. So we have that really great, I can't remember what the ordinance is, but it was built to from a few sessions ago. And that removed the parking requirement, or sorry, parking minimum in the urban core and in TOD zones. And like, how is that changing? Because the parking conversation is very controversial, but probably the most impactful lever that we have. So I don't know how to best track that, but I think it's really impactful in terms of GHG reduction. Thank you.
Totally. Thank you so much.
This is a wonderful discussion. I love it. We should further continue this. So thank you, Haley. I'm going to ask the public if there are any comments for you. We do have a comment in the chat. Ben Redder, if you're still online, would you like to share your comment with the group?
Hey, yeah, aloha, good morning. I just had a question on the greenhouse gas inventory, the emissions inventory. I was curious how the DOH effort translates into being meaningful data for you all. Like, is that at a scale that you are able to use? And I believe they're going through a revamp for the statewide data right now. And so just seeing how that would all dovetail with, I guess it would probably be for next year's report.
Yeah, my understanding is we wait for the Department of Health to do their statewide emissions inventory, and then we have models that will scale that data down based on local factors. And so that's kind of how the Oahu inventory is built. And I understand that the Department of Health is a little bit behind in releasing their latest. And so we kind of have to wait until they publish their data to be able to develop scaled inventories for Oahu. But yeah, we are in communication with them, and collaborate with them on the release, and then working through building the inventory here.
Thanks, Haley. I saw a thumbs up from Ben, so I assume that's all good. Maya, Havan, any comments from Facebook Live? Seeing nothing in the chat.
From Facebook Live.
Thank you so much. Thank you again, Haley, for the excellent presentation on the annual sustainability report. If you could share the report, your slide with us, I think we'll dive more into it, and we'll probably have questions for you later. So thank you again, Haley, and thank you, Victor, wherever you are.
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to move on to item B, which is a presentation and a discussion on our city's Youth Climate Action Fund. I'd like to welcome Madison Price. I hope I'm saying your last name right, Price, from the city's Resiliency Office. Hi, Madison.
Hi, Commissioners. Hi, Chair. I'm Madison Priest. No worries on the mispronunciation. I always say just like the Catholic guy, which he may not approve of. However, I'm the office's Climate Resiliency Fund specialist, and I'm here to chat with you folks today about the Youth Climate Action Fund, which is a new program that our office has just started to kick off. I will go ahead and put our website in the chat really quickly. So I'm here today to talk about the Youth Climate Action Fund. I have a huge team behind me helping me to get this off the ground, not only within CCSR, but also with the Honolulu Youth Commission and with a member of Mayor's Communications team, Ryan Wilson, who also coordinates the Honolulu Youth Commission. So it's kind of us tag teaming this effort. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, let me know if you folks can see that. Great. So like I mentioned, yeah, the Honolulu Youth Commission is helping both myself and Ryan to move this new program forward. So this is kind of the question that we are posing to our youth to kind of get them into the mindset of what this program can help them accomplish. If there's one idea that you notice around your school or your community related to climate change, how would you work to address that program? The Youth Climate Action Fund is a really unique opportunity and the first of its kind for the city. So we were awarded $50,000 from Bloomberg Philanthropies Youth Climate Action Fund to implement this program. And then we were also very fortunate to receive $75,000 from the Climate Resiliency Fund to move this work forward and make it a more robust program serving our youth. So we're essentially working to support youth-led projects tackling climate change in our community. This sounds really broad because it is. We know that climate solutions come in all different forms. And so we really wanted to provide the opportunity for our youth to answer the climate question and what can they do, however looks best for them. Like I mentioned, we from Bloomberg Philanthropies, this is the second cycle of this program for them. So we're part of the second cohort with 300 other cities across the globe. So it's a really nice kakōʻo effort. And it definitely, makes me feel comforted knowing that we have other local municipal action propping us up across the globe. So what is the Youth Climate Action Fund and generally what can it do? So youth for the purposes of this program are people ages 15 to 24. That is the age range that Bloomberg has prescribed. So that works really, really well. Our Honolulu Youth Commission is, I believe, ages 14 to 24. So there's some nice synergies there. So we're really looking at high school level and university level. Granted, youth don't have to be enrolled in school to participate in this program. These are just kind of the ages that we're looking at. So each project will, will propose a climate solution or a climate project that they want to complete that will be within the $1,000 to $4,999 range. So with the funding that we have from Bloomberg and the Climate Resiliency Fund, that will mean somewhere around 20 to 40 projects across Oahu, which is really exciting. We're hoping for nice diversity across the island, across stakeholder types and across project types, which we'll get a little bit into more later. So you folks have just received a kickoff email from Kiloha, I believe earlier this week. So we are officially open for business. Let's say we're accepting applications from now until September 7th. And then projects will need to be completed by March 31st, 2027. So what does the project team look like? Each project will have to have 2 youth leaders, ages 15 to 24, that are really the ones that are in charge of coming up with the idea and then implementing the idea, and to kind of mentor them and usher them through the process and the fiscal responsibility will also have to be a legally registered mentor organization. This is, again, really, really broad. So it can be youth-led organizations, it can be youth-serving organizations, and it can be all different types of schools that serve people ages 15 to 24. So this can look like your local nonprofit that you volunteer with on the weekends. This can look like your science teacher that, you know, is kind of helping you on a project that you're really excited about. This can also be your school's counselor. So it's really, really broad. I would also just say that, you know, if you don't see your organization type on here, that's totally okay. We're really looking to kind of co-design projects, and we're here for support if folks have any questions. So we want this to be broad, and we want climate solutions to look applicable however they come. So yeah, I think that is everything there. The only important thing here is that we can't award to individuals. So that's the only clause there with that mentor organization. So what can climate projects actually look like? So on the left here, we have our climate themes that you can pick from. Those are kind of the umbrellas. And then underneath those climate themes, we have climate categories. These climate categories were pulled from the city's various climate plans. And so while they may not necessarily match explicit actions or strategies within our plans, they are reflective of what our office has been building together with community since our inception. And so we hope that this captures, you know, what the public is hoping to implement. So each project will have to align with one of the themes on the left, and then they'll have to select a more niche category on the right. So we wanted to give an example, a few examples, because this program is so broad. So the next 3 slides go into one project example from each of the climate themes. So we also have 3 different budget breakdowns per project to kind of see, well, is $2,500 enough to do anything? And yes, it definitely is. So this is the first project example. It's from our environmental resiliency theme, and it's our wetlands and streams category. So for this example, we're looking at restoring a lo'i. And essentially the project is asking for $2,400 to purchase equipment, tools, and then plant materials and a consultant to kind of reimagine a piece of land to convert it to a lo'i. So $2,400, that's right in the middle of our range. What does it look like if we go right to the top of our range? The next project is in our sustainable arts and technology category, or excuse me, theme, and our communications, media, and technology category. So this is a high school led project, and it's really looking at launching a 4-episode podcast series exploring climate technologies. And then at the end of the 4 podcast episodes, students would host a debate on what they think could be implementable on Oahu here. So this one, we have the budget as $4,800. There are some tech items that are really boosting the budget there. And then also they're hosting an event towards the end. So I think it's important to note that we're really looking for actionable projects, and, you know, events would be really, really amazing, but I think there's can definitely be combinations of events and campaigns that are rolled into event projects. So this, for example, there's a lot of education that's happening with the podcast episodes, and then also we're finishing things off with an event. So the last example we have is from our Indigenous and Community Resources theme. It's our potable and non-potable water category. This is our smallest budget breakdown, and it's really cool project, in my opinion. Students would design and install educational signage at all major campus water resources, and then they would also concurrently design a plumbing blueprint and campaign to reuse water use on their campus. This is around $1,700 for the budget breakdown, and includes things like campaign materials, professional printing, etc. We had a fellow from the Punahou Sustainability Fellowship that was with us over the summer, and so she was the one. Her name's Kotone. She was the one to help us kind of put these project ideas together, and I think it really says a lot that these were the projects that she came up with for our various different climate themes, and it makes me really excited to see what other projects that youth on our island propose. So this is just a note for the mentor organizations. We have different tiers that they can choose from based on their ways that they accept payment, and then also what size project requests that they will eventually make to help inform, how they actually apply. So like I mentioned, we're accepting applications now through September 7th, and the proposals will have to be submitted via email using a template that we have on our website. So to get a little bit into the actual application, we wanted it to be very approachable and very easy. We don't want this to take a ton of time or be a barrier to application. So all of the application is full of prompts. It also has word limits and kind of guiding directions to help you fill out the application. And it's really meant to be a collaborative process between the two youth co-leads and their mentor organization. The mentor organization does have to, sign off on the application and, verify that all of these activities are okay to be implemented, just so that we're all on the same page. So yeah, I think there will be a lot of brainstorming that happens, and then as you go, you can edit the application template and save as you go, and then implement when you're finally ready. Submit when you're finally ready. So this is our project timeline. Right now, as I mentioned, we're accepting applications. To help facilitate that process, we are putting together a co-design session on August 12th. From 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. at UH West Oahu. This session is meant to answer any and all questions. We're happy to answer questions about logistics. We're happy to answer questions about project ideas. And then towards the end of the session, once people are able to commute to the location, we're planning to give kind of another presentation similar to this to give an overview. And then hopefully posting some of that information to our website as well. So youth have until September 7th to submit their applications, and then we're looking for projects to start around November, and projects will need to finish by the end of March. So I think it would be really helpful from you folks if you let us know where we can do better outreach. We have a pretty extensive outreach list, but we know that we are not, we don't have everyone on there, and there's always room for improvement. So if you have specific organizations who would be super excited about this, or you have someone in your life, a youth, send them our way. We're happy to do presentations to schools, do presentations to organizations, to really get the word out about, what can be done with this project. We also have a flyer that I am happy to send over to you folks for your purposes or for posting. And then we know that we're going to get a ton of different project topics, some that, we may have subject matter experts on in-house, but there also might be some that fall within your subject matter expertise. And so if you are open to it, if a project needs some help and falls into your field of expertise, we would love to pair you up with projects to answer feasibility questions or implementation questions, or help students, think bigger, maybe think smaller. So yeah, I will open it up for questions, but thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Madison. This is wonderful. I'm so happy this is launching for our youth. And thank you for sharing kind of how we can express this in our network. That's one thing that I've been looking for, sort of knowing the reach. So I think for me, getting a copy of the flyer would be really, really great. So we can kind of spread the word. If the office did present to the schools, is it just you or is it your broader team? I'm just kind of curious about like the capacity. You know, I know, for example, the DOE schools are starting up soon, so that might be a great kind of touch point. But yeah, just curious about the current kind of, I guess, outreach plan.
Yes, totally. Katone Springer was able to help us kind of develop our outreach plan. So we have a lot of action items, one of which is presenting to schools. And then we are sending all sorts of emails to all sorts of folks. We have set up a Youth Climate Action Fund email so that we make sure we don't miss any questions for the presentations to the schools. Yeah, it could be myself, it could be Ryan, depending on his schedule. Also, our climate equity program manager, Emily McKinney, has been a huge help. So it could also be her. It really depends. It could also, you know, Maya could tag along. So pretty broad. We're really looking to make this work. And so, yeah, the team is flexible on outreach commitments. Other outreach, I think we have. The Youth Commission has been really great with helping us to get the word out as well. Some of them have been able to help their council members post on social media. And then they've also had really great suggestions for what other organizations to add to our outreach list. We have our co-design session that's coming up on August 12th. And then we're looking to put out some more social media posts and do probably a webinar or another sort of like visual aid of walking through what the application actually looks like and if there are any helpful tips or tricks that we recommend folks do. Public high schools, private and charter high schools, also going to universities, university classes, student clubs on campus, all sorts of things. We're open to it all. And if you have an idea that I haven't mentioned, I would love to hear it.
Wonderful. I think you've covered all the bases, but I can offer the AIA. We have a youth program, so we work with a bunch of high school students and whatnot, and we have a mentorship program. So I definitely want to share this opportunity, but it might be a great way to do some touch point there. So, yeah. Commissioners, any comments, questions for Madison? Commissioner Romine.
Thank you, Madison, for sharing all the information on this wonderful program. It was great to learn about this. I'm really optimistic about this and just you know, the opportunity for our students, our high school age, undergraduate age students through this. I think it's a really exciting opportunity for them to build their experience. I also have hope that this could help with, I think, the despair that a lot of our youth are feeling around climate change, that there's an opportunity for them to innovate and present ideas and really roll up their sleeves and do some cool projects with this. So thank you for all your work in making this happen. A few questions, and I think you might have covered this one and I missed it, but how many awards do you expect to grant this year?
Anywhere from 20-ish to 40-ish. It depends on the request amount that organizations submit to us. So if we have, you know, if all of the requests come in at $1,000, then that indicates, you know, we'll maybe have around 40 awards. If all of the requests come in at 4,999, then that'll look like a different number. So it is going to be a range, and it'll be interesting to see where we end up.
Okay, thank you. Another couple questions. Can students include stipends for themselves or their partners? I mean, I know the idea is really to give them experience, but you know, maybe that can also show them that that you could possibly build a career out of some of these ideas. Is that an option in the budgets potentially?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think the answer is yes. The thing we have to be careful about is like speaker honorariums and things like that. That would not, be eligible. But yeah, depending on if it looks like a gift card or things like that, potentially. And that's definitely something to include in the application for us to evaluate and talk through.
Okay. And last question, do you anticipate opening an opportunity like this again this time next year? I'm just wondering for the students that are seeing this, excited about it, but maybe not quite ready this fall with this deadline coming up in September.
Yeah, we would love to. That depends on a lot of factors, but I think it's definitely a priority of the city to, once this program is up and running, to give it legs and let it live, so to speak. So tentatively, hopefully, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Madison. That's all for me.
Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. Director Fox.
Thank you, Madison, for sharing. One of the things that I wanted to highlight, because Madison's been doing a great job behind the scenes with the whole Youth Climate Action Fund team, is this has actually been a very complicated learning process around our budget and fiscal services rules and procedures and what we can and cannot do in order of accepting money into the city, blending structures around philanthropic and special funds, and then also how do you expense funds lawfully with that leverage opportunity in front of us, where Bloomberg is setting some of the foundation, and then we still have to make sure that we follow state procurement law at the same time as we still have to make sure that we're following the city and county of Honolulu's budget and fiscal services rules and procedures. And though it seems like a small scale to start with, these are actually very essential city government and municipal actions that we're taking so that we can continue to push forward, that projects are funded in the ways that we can, while also protecting public funds at the same time. And so I just really wanted to highlight that, because a lot of the time that we've spent is actually not on the building of the vision and the examples of the project. A lot of the time has actually been spent on how can we actually do this within the city and county of Honolulu, because this has never been done before. And we have to create these workflows and these standard operating procedures and these forms and these templates and get a lot of approvals actually behind the scenes. And that is not actually reflected in the initial $125,000 investment that we're making. And so to your point, Commissioner Romine, not only do I think is this a good opportunity for us to make sure that we're capturing students who may not be ready for this year, I think there's even a more important opportunity for us to make sure that we're capturing the city processes and procedures so that we're making sure that next year we're even more ready to potentially invest more funding through these types of financial apparatuses.
Thank you, Dr. Fox. Yeah, I can relate to the challenges of trying to innovate with funding opportunities within a government organization. So I really appreciate all the work you put into this and the creativity and innovation on your side of the city. So mahalo for all the work behind the scenes on that. And thanks for sharing that background.
Yes, echoing that. Thank you, Dr. Fox. Commissioner Osuka.
Oh, yes. Director Fox took the words out of my mouth. Madison, I just want to acknowledge all of your hard work with taking a really, I don't want to say difficult, but non-traditional route of procurement. It's not easy to give money to communities, which seems silly. And so I really want to acknowledge your hard work, sort of jumping through the bureaucratic hoops of trying to figure this out, and giving money directly back to our community rather than paying a consultant from the continent. I think it's really important that we are acknowledging the capacity of our communities and building capacity of communities. And I think that will help also with people feeling responsible for their communities. And I think that builds a lot of social cohesion. So I know that's a little fluffy, but I think it's so important. And Director Fox knows I love process. So I think it's really great that you are establishing this process. This will help future iterations of this, and hopefully you continue to build on this. So that's really great. I also wanted to acknowledge and thank you for all the outreach you're doing on this. I think sometimes we, like government, like put out programs and then don't do proper outreach to the folks that are eligible. And so the folks who end up winning these monies are folks who already are really well-established organizations. So I really want to acknowledge that also. And then I put 2 suggestions for you in the chat, Madison, and happy to try to help you get in touch with these folks if you're having trouble. One is the Hawaii Youth Transportation Council. It is a Navahine settlement requirement that the Hawaii Department of Transportation must convene a group of youth to guide us to carbon net negative transportation system. And then also, I really love KVI. It's a program out of Kokua Kalihi Valley that provides youth bike maintenance training and sort of other non-bike things. And students who complete the program and learn how to fix a bike get a free bike after. It's a really neat program, and I really love this program. And I hope that they have some cool ideas they can contribute to. So just overall, thank you, Madison. I think it's really great. I know it probably hasn't been super easy, so thank you.
Well, Commissioner, yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, I have a very robust and great team behind me within the Resilience Office and within the city. So it is, yeah, I will extend your mahalo to them as well. Thank you for your recommendations. I will be sure to either verify that they're already on our outreach list or be sure to add them. So thank you. If you folks think of any other folks later, feel free to send me an email.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Madison. I'm going to open it to the public to see if they have any questions for you. So public online, either on Facebook, in this virtual meeting, raise your hand.
No comments on Facebook.
Thank you, Havon. Anyone online? Okay, if not, thank you, Madison. We will help you spread the word. If you have the flyer, please share it, and then we'll make sure we get youth to apply. Thank you. Okay, moving on to our next agenda item. Item C, a discussion on our commission's possible guidance documents and deliverable products. We have been chatting about this probably now. This is our 3rd commission meeting on it. It's been a great evolution of just developing possible topics that we could work on, and also working in collaboration with the university. I know Commissioner Olson has a course, also former Commissioner Kaufman, McKenna Kaufman, and Dr. Michael Bruno at the College of Engineering. They have a course as well coming up this semester. So these topics are all potentially integrated. Today, we wanted to look at them really briefly, discuss them, try and identify some commissioners that could serve as point of contact sort of for interested bodies, which, if we do collaborate or the universities decide to collaborate on these opportunities, they can be a point of reference. Or if commissioners are just interested in the topic and want to track the dialogue, be engaged in some way. So I'm going to share my screen. So that we can further discuss this. Okay, can everyone see my screen? All right, great. So this is the document that merged from our last 2 meetings on topics. They came from topics that were previously mentioned in our past guidance documents that came out of discussion with the office, Resilience Office, and also topics that came directly from the Resilience Office. And then lastly, topics that came from our last meeting. So we circulated this with the assistance of the office. Thank you, Havon, for doing this. And some commissioners have identified where they were interested in serving as a subject point of contact. And those that were interested in really kind of providing input under the sort of purview of the sunshine, either through the commission meeting or as a stakeholder or some way without sort of breaking sunshine. So I wanted to kind of just go through them. We're not going to really, unless we need to, and I want this to be kind of an open dialogue with the commissioner, so feel free to mute yourself and just add some thought. Just kind of go through these topics, because in the end, I would like us to adopt this list because I would like to share this with our university contacts. So the first one was looking at kind of investigating what do district solutions look like for a lot of our infrastructure, wastewater, water, energy, and kind of really the emphasize sort of development areas or sectors, TOD, housing, right, of different scale. I think we talked about that there potentially is opportunity to look at what some of these policies and strategies that we are talking about, and an opportunity for us to lead on that. So Commissioner Osuka and myself identified us as kind of possible contacts for that. The other one was looking at post-disaster recycling. How do we handle our demolition construction waste? How could this support the city? I think this came through discussion when we were looking at the long-term hazard recovery plan. What does a post-disaster reconstruction framework look like? That was a byproduct of our May meeting, and in our June meeting, we had voted to start investigating that. So Commissioner Romine and myself will be looking at that. Economic value of horizontal evacuation related to bike and walkability transit. So Commissioner Osuka has identified herself. Looking at what does city-led wetland protection look like under sea level rise. I think this came up in our last meeting from the office from Alex Yee. Commissioner Romine identified himself. Ecosystem mapping, economics, related to sea level rise guidance, natural resources, social impact. What does, heat resilience building guidelines and codes look like? How can we kind of integrate together climate adaptation codes to our built environment? Coming from the climate brief, we have things looking at the impacts to human health, flooding impacts due to increased precipitation, coastal groundwater, rising coastal groundwater. I don't need to read this. I feel like it's already there. But I guess the point is, thank you everyone that identified yourself. Commissioner Olson, we didn't get any of your interest, so I don't know if you want to add yourself anywhere so we can then vote on it.
Yes, happy to
Yes,
do that.
yeah.
And yeah, sorry for having missed the memo. I mean, I would be happy to, on the wetland protection, work with Commissioner Romine on that.
Yep.
And I will follow along. I have already had a discussion with the office about the post-disaster recycling. And I'm not sure what will come out of that, but let me talk with them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I think the briefs, well, it's kind of, I don't want to, we can't do too much all at once, right?
Yeah, so just to clarify, some of it's we understand that through the university, they might be investigating some of this as student, graduate work-led
Right.
projects, right? And so we're also just trying to identify ourselves as the point of contact. They further want to have dialogue on that subject matter with the commission. It's not to say that the commission needs to develop its own sort of guidance document on those
Got
matters.
it.
So,
Okay, great, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the ecosystem evaluation and the kind of greenhouse gas with vegetation. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to, if I can be on these as the point of contact if somebody wants, if what it is just helping to connect the city and county via the commission to research. I'm happy to be the point of contact on those climate change ones.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think at this point it's just identifying a point of contact for the
Mm-hmm.
university. I think further interest and discussion needs to come from individual commissioners or commissioners
Mm-hmm.
to determine if there is value in developing a guidance document or a memo or something of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just a good way to getting us kind of focused on particular areas that we know are gaps maybe in our
Mm-hmm.
current city
Mm-hmm.
that we want to just further look into, right? And decide what the next steps could be. Okay, wonderful. Commissioner Olson or Asuka and Commissioner Wright, any other thoughts you want to share on this? Anything to add?
I'd say, I mean, on those last ones that are still open, again, I'm fine so that we have somebody, you can add me. And by the way, my last name is spelled differently than you're typing, but it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I'm sorry. Oh,
That's
I
okay.
see it. Yes. I'm
Uh,
so sorry. I
that's okay. Once you've done
apologize.
it once in Excel, it's just going to keep doing it.
Yes, I
I should
know.
have said it earlier.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
mean,
got it.
certainly like in the department at the university where I work, the kind of natural resources aspects and some of the social science aspects of climate change are forefront. So I'm happy to serve as the liaison.
Okay. So do you want me to just list you as like a point of contact for
I
these?
don't know about disabilities, that I definitely
Yeah.
the social equity, but climate adaptation, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The cesspools is, I think, more of in the wheelhouse of Water Resources Research Center. I don't know if Commissioner Romine has been at all involved in that, but there's a lot happening, definitely.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
deeply involved in the topic of cesspools. I somewhat with the intersection with sea level rise, but
mm,
there's other folks here in Sea Grant and broader university that's deeper experts than I am in that.
yeah, I just mean as point of contact of who, if would be able, if people are interested to get involved, to know who's doing work in the cesspool conversion world. That might be better you than me, but
Yeah, I'm happy to
okay.
try to make those connections on that topic if needed. So yeah, maybe put me in as an interested party or,
Got it.
in the cesspools one.
Yeah. Wonderful.
I'm definitely also interested, but I'm not sure that I'm a little confused as to what the BC column versus the DE is, but I guess we'll figure that out.
I think it's just sunshine. So if they reach out to two of us, right? So any
Mm,
communication between the commissioners on a particular topic is very much limited to no more than two. So that's
mm-hmm,
why. So
mm,
for this other interested, it'd be, for example, if they were reaching out to us in a more public forum, like a commission meeting here, for example, you could provide input, or if there was like a formal stakeholder outreach process or engagement. So,
mm.
but I
Okay.
also think, for example, like, the cesspool is a great version. If there's no other commissioner, they might just reach out to Commissioner Romine, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Commissioner Osuka.
Oh, can you or Commissioner Olson remind us of the timeline for this? Like when would folks start reaching out potentially?
So McKenna has reached out in May, which is how we started the conversation of really kind of trying to wrap this topic up, or this area. The semester starts next month, so I think it varies, right? I think Commissioner Olson, you shared that there were some capstone projects, some projects that might run 2 years in your coursework, some that might just meet a semester. So I think it would certainly follow an academic schedule. We can clarify with McKenna, but we want to get this to her as soon as she can so they can kind of develop any coursework around that. Yeah. Does that answer? Yeah. Okay. Commissioner Romine?
Thanks. Yeah, I'm just wanted to hear a little bit more about the vision for the process with this. These are ideas that are going to go back to the folks leading those courses.
Yeah.
We've kind of, maybe this wasn't the intention, but maybe done a little bit of prioritizing here with the number of names we have down, where and how many.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's helpful, if there's going to be further prioritizing with this list, how the city might then look at this also, and weigh in also on priorities based on the input here, and then ultimately how that might determine which guidance documents we work on, because clearly we can't do all of these in the next year or two. We're going to have to whittle it down to just a couple, few at the most, I think, depending on the time frame. Yeah, thank you.
So I'll add one thing. We're sharing the list, I think, with a broader idea list that McKenna and Dr. Kaufman and Dr. Bruno are developing for their coursework. It's not, we have no certainty that any of the students will choose these topics. We're just saying if you do choose them, these are topics that have come through our commission, have come through the office, right? And we have established point of contacts. But I think what you're pointing to, Brad, is just another evolution of this document, right? Is there something that we further generate from this? So I think that's a question to ourselves, like, from this list, are there, maybe 2 or 3 priority topics that we think that we just want to further, just not maybe develop a topic paper on, but just start to investigate and get a little, reach into these areas so that we can either bring that back to the commission, maybe in a commission meeting as a guest speaker or something, just to further see, where there's barriers or opportunities. So that could be another place as well for these topics. I don't know if that's addressing your question, but I see it fairly open. Nothing's prescribed here. It's all about interest. So.
Okay. Yeah, that helps. Thank you. I mean, the primary intention with this list is really for the folks leading this course, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we
Yeah.
derive some other things from this for
Mhm.
ourselves in the resilience
Exactly.
office. Okay.
Yeah, and so for example, when Haley brought up the ASR, right, like the gaps in waste management and things like that, right? I think it's like where, how I could see it is like, where could we bring in a speaker? Where could we further have discussion with the office and other offices in the city of seeing where can we improve this, right? Or further understand where the challenges are and where there are opportunities. So, it's like a SWOT analysis maybe, and then leaning on what other cities and counties might be doing as well. So,
Thank you, Chair,
yeah.
for that additional
Okay.
explanation. Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay. All right, great. So I think if this looks okay, I just want to get kind of like the blessing of the commission that, you are fine self-identifying yourselves at point of contacts for these subjects. We will then transmit this over to McKenna's team, and then they can just determine which of these topics kind of bubble up within their groups. And then from there, I think to your questions, Commissioner Osuka will have better clarity on, timeline, things like that. So. Okay. So I don't think we need an official vote, but I'm taking the heads nods, like this list is good. We can share it. Wonderful. Great. Well, thank you, everyone. That is our last official item for new business for today. As Dr. Fox said, we are taking a hiatus, a little break for August. And we will be resuming on September 25th. That's a tentative calendar hold. I think all of you have that in your dates, and there are additional dates going out to the end of the year for our Friday meetings. So let us know if you don't have those calendar invites. We can kind of get them back out to you. Okay. Communications and correspondence from the public. We didn't receive anything from the public ahead of this meeting. So we can flow right into our agenda. Number 9, public input for matters not on the agenda.
Here, I wanted to respond to one of the questions from a member of the public
Mm,
at our last meeting, and I'm wondering where that is most appropriate. Is it now?
yep, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, not on the
Okay.
agenda. Yep.
So I don't see Casey Connors here, but I said I would follow up on some of the questions about carrying capacity of Kamehameha Highway in the Ko'olalua area.
Yep.
So I emailed the Hawaii Department of Transportation as they manage that facility. So it's a state facility, but I did want to try to help Casey as much as possible. So in an email on June 26th, the Hawaii Department of Transportation said that they are developing the Kamehameha Highway Long Range Resilience Study and is planning for a series of community meetings, with the first meeting scheduled in July, August. At that meeting, they will share the resilience study work done so far by their consultants and get community input, which will guide how we finalize, or how they finalize the study. At this time, they do not have a web page or somewhere a community member can sign up to be notified of upcoming community meetings and or other ways to participate. HDOT is currently working with State Representative Lisa Kitagawa, her fellow elected officials, and other state county agencies on scheduling their first community meeting. Once the date and location are finalized, they will notify the neighborhood board chair and the city's neighborhood board assistant about the upcoming community meeting. And I am suggesting Casey reach out to the Department of Transportation's Public Information Office. The email address is dotpao@hawaii.gov. And I will also copy and paste this in the chat so that there is written record of the response. That's all. Thank you, Chair.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Otsuka, for following up on that. Just a point of procedure. Do you think the best way to record this is in our meeting minutes? I don't know if we have contact to the community member, Casey Connors. So I don't know if the minutes are appropriate or if we should find her contact and then email her our response. Director Fox, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't have any specific contact information like an email or a phone number myself, but procedure would be that for us to note it within the minutes. Havan, I'm noting for you here that this is just as Vice Chair Otsuka read, it's in relationship to a question asked by a community member during the June commission meeting, and then we can make sure that that is flagged in the actual minutes as well, Chair. And then we do publicly post the minutes to our website, just like the other commission materials are as well. And then I'm happy for us on our team with Havan, if Casey joins a future meeting, then we can always make sure we just put it in the Bicky rack for us. Vice Chair Otsuka will put it into the Bicky rack to make sure that we just look at the participant list and flag that link on our CCSR website where they can find that response back.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Director Fox. I just want to read a comment from Alex Yee. He said some CCSR staff have been included in the stakeholder planning meetings about the Kamehameha Coastal Resilience Study. So they plan to be at that public meeting that's currently looking at September 24th. So, okay, wonderful. Well, this is great. Thank you, Commissioner Otsuka. Very detailed, love it. Gonna move over to our next item. If there isn't anything else, any items from the public, public that's online or in our virtual meeting room.
Nothing from the public.
Thank you, Yvonne. Okay, on to announcements. Commissioner Ryan, do you want to share one of the announcements you threw in the chat about your Pilina Moko projects?
Sure. Yes, thank you, Chair. Yeah, I want to make sure I got the links in the chat before we adjourned here. So I already threw them in there. But in case folks haven't seen it yet, we few weeks ago, released the community funding opportunity through the Pili na Moku project here at Hawaii Sea Grant. And we have up to $1.4 million available in each of the 5 project moku. So that includes that this project is focused on. So that includes $1.4 million in Waianae moku available to invest in projects focused on care for Aina, strengthening cultural and ecological stewardship, and building resilient communities. So please check out more information on the RFP there, request for proposals online there. We already did an online webinar week ago, I believe. That recording of that webinar is available through that link. There is also a listening and informational session coming up in person in Waianae. The link to sign up for that is on that link. If you scroll down, it is Saturday, August 8th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Leeward Community College, Waianae, near Ma'ili. And yeah, you can find the registration link to attend that as well. If you want to learn more, there'll also be opportunities to network with community members. And we really hope with this funding to develop collaborative ideas, build Pilina with community, among community, to generate collaborative project ideas for proposals here. So folks can reach out directly to me if they have questions. We also have our Waianae Moku coordinator, Tara Farone, who you will get to meet if you go to one of those listening sessions, also available if you're looking for somebody to contact locally around the Pili na Moku project in general and regarding this funding opportunity. Mahalo.
Wonderful. Thank you, Commissioner Romine. Any other announcements we want to share? Public? All right. If not, I want to say thank you, commissioners. Thank you, members of the Resiliency Office, for participating today. End of our summer. Enjoy the rest of your August. I know there's a lot of work ahead for you guys, so I wish you all the energy possible. Find some balance. And then we will see each other in September. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. See you guys then.
Mahalo, Chair
Bye.
and Commissioners.
Thank you, Chair.
Mahalo, Chair. Thank you to all our presenters.
Have a good weekend.